welcome back to my channel. The courtroom falls into dead silence. Meri Brown stands clutching a folder, her hands trembling, eyes blazing with years of betrayal that can no longer be buried. "Your Honor," she begins, her voice cracking under the weight of truth. "What I'm about to reveal will change everything." Across the room, Kody's smirk fades. Robyn grips his arm in panic. Christine leans forward and Janelle closes her eyes, bracing for the storm. What began as a custody dispute is about to ignite into a full-blown war over money, power, and deception buried beneath decades of polygamy's golden illusion. Christine Brown's lawsuit seemed simple: unpaid child support and breach of an oral property agreement. But her young, razor-sharp lawyer makes it clear they're demanding a forensic audit of the Brown family business accounts. And when the word audit echoes through the courtroom, you can almost feel Kody flinch. Robyn's eyes dart nervously. Cameras click. Even the judge leans in. Kody's lawyer jumps to object, claiming this is a custody hearing, not a financial inquisition. But the judge's gavel cuts him off. If there's suspicion of fraud involving child support or marital assets, this court will hear the evidence. In that single moment, the case transforms. From parenting to potential felony. Meri stands frozen, her breath short. She knows this path leads to places she never wanted to revisit. Because her name is on those documents. That night, Meri sits alone in her hotel room. Her phone buzzes with breaking news. Kody Brown faces financial audit amid child support scandal. Fans are speculating, but none of them know the half of it. 2 years earlier, Kody had persuaded Meri to sign over her share of Lizzie's Heritage Inn. "Just a paperwork update," he'd said. "It'll make taxes easier." She believed him. She always believed him. But now, scrolling through old emails, something catches her eye. A $42,000 wire transfer from the inn's account to a private Nevada bank. The date? 1 day after she signed the papers. The destination? Not her account. Not family business. This wasn't about taxes. It was about laundering family money. The next morning, Christine takes the stand. Her voice shakes, but her courage doesn't. "Kody told us everything was for the family," she says. "But when I left, I found out he transferred $70,000 from our shared funds into an account I didn't even know existed. One with Robyn's name on it." The courtroom erupts. Robyn's jaw drops. Kody mouths the word lies. But Christine isn't done. She reveals a name, a former accountant, someone ready to testify. The judge's eyebrow rises. Kody's attorney pales. Christine's lawyer announces, "We'll be calling that witness next week." That night, Meri can't sleep. She digs deeper into every text, every email, every suspicious document. And then Janelle approaches her during a recess. "Talk to the kids," she whispers. "Especially Aurora." Meri frowns. "Why?" Janelle leans closer. "Because she knows about the storage unit. The one Robyn's been paying for, in cash, for the past 3 years. The next morning, tension hangs heavy over the courthouse. Rain threatens to fall. Meri walks through the glass doors, no longer trembling. Her jaw is set, her folder clutched tight. Inside it, proof of the transfers, the signatures, the deceit. She takes the stand. The oath is read. The room holds its breath. "I believe my name was used to transfer family funds into private accounts without my knowledge or consent." Gasps ripple across the gallery. The judge leans forward. "Do you believe Robyn Brown acted with intent to hide these funds?" Meri's voice is steady now. "Yes." The silence that follows is deafening. Outside, tires screech. Robyn rushes through security, drenched in the misting rain, clutching her handbag like it holds the last of her secrets. She enters just as Meri steps down from the stand. Their eyes meet. All the birthdays, the fake sisterhood smiles, the TV moments flash between them, and then fade. Because Meri Brown isn't afraid anymore. She's angry. And she's done staying silent. Robyn sits down beside Kody. He doesn't speak. The tension between them is a living, breathing thing, thick enough to slice through the air. The judge calls for a recess, his gavel echoing like a warning shot. Reporters murmur, cameras flash. Meri moves quickly toward the exit, her pulse hammering in her ears. She's almost at the courthouse doors when a small, shaking voice calls out behind her. "Aunt Meri!" She turns. It's Aurora, pale, trembling. Her eyes dart around as if she's afraid the walls themselves might be listening. "Can we talk?" she whispers. They step into a narrow alcove, hidden from the reporters. Aurora's hands tremble as she pulls a tiny, crumpled receipt from her purse. A receipt with an address and a 4-digit code. "I found this in Mom's glove box 2 years ago," she confesses, her voice cracking. "She made me swear I'd never tell anyone. But after what you said in there..." Mary's breath catches. "What's in there?" Aurora shakes her head. "I don't know. She always went alone." And just like that, Meri realizes she's holding the key to Robyn's secret, a location hidden in plain sight, one that could unravel everything. That night, rain gathers over Flagstaff like a storm of consequence. Meri drives out to the edge of town. The road narrows. The sky darkens. Her headlights cut through the mist until she stops before a lonely row of rusted metal storage units. Unit 17. No cameras, no witnesses, just Meri and the truth. She enters the code. Beep. Click. The door lifts with a groan. Dust swirls in the cold air. Inside, the small 10x10 room is stacked high with cardboard boxes, each one labeled in Robyn's neat, looping handwriting. Receipts. Taxes. Contracts. Scrapbooks. But something catches her eye. A large metal cabinet under a tarp in the corner. She lifts the cover. It's locked, with a yellow sticky note taped to the front. One word: trust. Her stomach twists. She searches nearby drawers until her fingers brush against a small brass key taped to the side. It fits. The drawer slides open with a metallic screech. Inside are rows of manila folders, each labeled with a name: Christine, Janelle, Meri, Family Trust, Coyote Pass, and the thickest of all, Kody. Meri flips through the pages, her breath quickening. Deeds, wire transfers, notarized documents. And then she freezes, staring at one paper that makes her knees weaken. A signed, notarized amendment showing Kody and Robyn restructured the Brown family trust, giving Robyn 51% control. Not recently. Not after the separations. 5 years ago. This wasn't a reaction. It was a plan. While the family was crumbling on camera, Kody and Robyn were quietly taking everything. Meri photographs everything, every page, every signature. Her hands are shaking, but her resolve is steel. She locks the cabinet, closes the door, and drives away under the storm clouds, headlights cutting through the night like blades. The next morning, she meets Christine and Janelle in a small, deserted conference room at the courthouse. The blinds are half closed. The tension, suffocating. Meri spreads the folders across the table. Christine gasps. "Oh my God." Janelle presses a trembling hand over her mouth. "It was never about the kids," Christine whispers. "They were stealing from all of us." Meri nods. Robyn signed it, but Kody knew. He let it happen. Silence fills the room, the kind that only exists before a revolution. Then Janelle, calm and calculated, breaks it. "We're not filing civil claims anymore," she says quietly. "We're going for criminal charges." Christine blinks, stunned. "Do you really think the judge will go for it?" "No," Janelle replies, her tone icy. "But the IRS will." The sisters are done playing defense. They're going after the empire Kody built on deceit. Back in court, Kody's lawyer argues that the storage unit evidence was obtained illegally, but Meri stands her ground. "I was given access by someone who lived in the household," she says firmly. "That makes it fair discovery." The judge agrees, and the documents are entered into the record. Kody's face drains of color. Robyn, usually trembling and tearful, sits motionless. Her eyes are glassy, her hands clasped. For the first time, she looks afraid. As the hearing ends, the judge slams his gavel. Given the scope of the evidence, this court will expand the case to include financial misconduct. Kody bursts out, "This is persecution!" The judge's voice cuts through the chaos. "No, Mr. Brown, this is justice!" Meri walks out into the cool autumn air. Her phone buzzes. Unknown number. 3 words. "You missed something." Her heart stops. The message burns on her screen, mocking her. She looks around, the parking lot empty, the courthouse looming behind her. Who sent it? How much deeper does this go? She doesn't reply. She simply walks to her car, hair whipping in the wind, determination carved across her face. The next morning, the headlines explode. Sister wives' financial scandal deepens. Court expands investigation after secret files found. Christine and Janelle are already waiting in the conference room. The air feels electric. "Did you see the papers?" Christine asks. Meri nods. "It's everywhere." "I got a voicemail," Janelle adds quietly. "From Robyn's former nanny, Roberta. She says she's ready to talk." Meri freezes. Roberta. The one person inside Robyn's home who saw everything. "She says she was paid to keep quiet," Janelle continues, "but she can prove what Robyn's really been hiding all these years." That afternoon, the courtroom overflows with reporters. Cameras flash like lightning. Kody walks in first, unshaven, tie crooked, eyes hollow. Robyn follows in black, her face drained of color, her attorney whispering nervously. "Your Honor," the defense says softly, "we request a recess from today's testimony." But the judge barely looks up. His voice is sharp, final, and cold. Denied. And just like that, the Brown family's secrets are no longer buried. They're being dragged into the light. ChatGPT. The courtroom feels like a loaded weapon. Every breath, every whisper, every scrape of a chair carries weight. The defense had just asked for a recess, and the judge, without even glancing up, replies coldly, "Denied. We have a full docket. Call your first witness." But it isn't a defense witness who enters. It's Roberta Sears, Robyn's former nanny. Late 40s, modestly dressed, her posture straight but her face pale. She walks down the aisle like a woman carrying the ghosts of other people's sins. The bailiff swears her in. The crowd shifts, waiting for the first word. "My name is Roberta Sears," she begins. Her voice trembles slightly. "I worked for Robyn Brown for 4 years. I was hired right after she and Kody moved into the Flagstaff house." The judge leans forward. "And what would you like to testify to today, Miss Sears?" She takes a long breath, her fingers shaking as she raises a folded paper. "In 2021, I was told to shred some documents. At first, they were just bills. Nothing unusual. But then," she stops, swallowing hard. "Then it was bank statements. Wire transfers. Some from TLC production, and some from the Brown Family Trust." A collective gasp rolls through the courtroom like a shockwave. Even the reporters stop typing. Kody's face drains of color. Robyn grips the table, her knuckles white. The judge raises an eyebrow. "Are you saying you were instructed to destroy financial documents linked to family accounts?" "Yes, Your Honor," Roberta says, voice breaking. "I didn't know what I was part of, but I couldn't live with it anymore." Kody mutters under his breath, something sharp, something bitter. The judge slams his gavel. Mr. Brown remains silent during witness testimony. Christine's attorney steps forward, calm but coiled like a spring. "Miss Sears, what happened to those documents?" Roberta exhales. "One day I got scared. I made copies, just in case." From her purse, she produces a small plastic envelope. 4 crumpled papers, edges frayed. The clerk collects them, passing them to Christine's lawyer. He scans the pages, jaw tightening as he looks up. "These are bank deposits," he says, voice echoing, "from the Brown Family LLC into an independent shell company, one that Robyn Brown owns entirely." The courtroom stirs again. The judge frowns. "And the name of that company?" The lawyer answers slowly, "Sacred Circle Holdings." Janelle bolts upright. "That's her old jewelry business," she mutters. Christine turns to her, stunned. The attorney nods. "It was dissolved in 2017, at least publicly. But this evidence shows it was quietly reactivated in 2020 and used to divert more than $180,000 from family accounts into private holdings." Kody's face turns ghost white. Robyn lowers her head. Her lips move, barely audible, but Meri catches the words. "They told us it was temporary." The judge straightens. "Given this testimony, I'm ordering a forensic audit of Sacred Circle Holdings. Effective immediately." The defense collapses under its own weight. The cameras flash. The Brown Empire is unraveling before everyone's eyes. When the lunch break is called, Meri steps outside, pressing a hand to her chest. The crowd, the noise, the whispers, it's too much. She pulls out her phone, staring at that cryptic text again. "You missed something." She dials the number. No answer, she tries again. Straight to voicemail. She's about to hang up when her phone buzzes. A new message. It's a photo, blurry, dark, but unmistakable. A storage facility. Not the one she'd been to before. A bigger one. Newer. A caption reads, Coyote Ridge, Unit 314, check in the freezer. Meri's stomach drops. Her fingers go numb. She shows the image to Christine, whose face goes white as paper. That's Robyn's new rental, she whispers. She said it was for downsizing. For minimalism. Meri's voice lowers to a trembling whisper. There's a freezer. They don't return to court that day. Christine informs the judge she has a medical emergency. He grants her the absence without question. Janelle stays behind, keeping eyes on the case. Meri and Christine drive in silence through the desert. The road stretches endlessly, the air thick with dust and dread. They reach Coyote Ridge Storage, and there it is, Unit 314. Meri cuts the lock. The door rattles upward with a metallic growl. Inside, the air is dry and still. The space is spotless, everything neatly packed and labeled. Holiday decorations, children's crafts, keepsakes. Christine exhales shakily. It looks normal. But then they see it. A commercial-sized freezer in the corner, humming quietly under the fluorescent light. Meri steps closer. It's plugged in. Christine hesitates, then grips the handle. The moment stretches. Thunder rumbles in the distance. She pulls it open. The motor whirs to life. The cold mist spills out. And inside, it's not empty. And inside, it's not empty. The courtroom is silent. The kind of silence that feels alive, tense, electric. Everyone knows something monumental is about to unfold. Plastic bags. Dozens of them. Christine and Meri stare at each other before daring to open one. Inside, not what anyone expected. Documents. Each sealed in waterproof sleeves like someone had gone to great lengths to protect them from time itself. Contracts, ledgers, and notarized forms, all bearing the unmistakable mark of Kody Brown's signature. Meri's breath catches when she spots one file at the bottom, labeled Custody Draft Agreement. Her hands tremble as she pulls it out. The paper is dated 3 years ago. Christine's voice quivers as she reads aloud. Sole guardianship of Robyn's children, and potential guardianship of all minor children, in the event of dissolution of the family trust. Meri nearly collapses. The reality hits like a thunderclap. Kody and Robyn hadn't just prepared for a family fallout, they had scripted it, planned it, and legally maneuvered to seize everything before Christine ever walked away. This isn't financial fraud anymore, Christine whispers, her voice breaking. This was a takeover, disguised as heartbreak. The drive back to court is silent. The Arizona sun blazes outside, but inside that car, it's cold, the kind of cold that seeps into the bones. Meri scrolls through her phone, photos of the freezer documents sitting like ticking time bombs in her gallery. When they return, Janelle stands waiting near the courtroom doors, her expression a mixture of fury and grim satisfaction. The judge ordered a full audit, she says quietly. And the IRS has officially requested the family trust records. It's the first real blow Kody and Robyn have taken, and they feel it. Kody's jaw tightens, his fists clench. You're taking her side, he screams, pounding the table so hard that pens scatter across it. You've always taken her side. The judge's gavel strikes like thunder. Mr. Brown, one more outburst and I'll have you removed. But before Kody can respond, it's Robyn who breaks. She stands, tears streaking her face, her voice cracking under the weight of what she's carried. You told me it was protected. You said they'd never find it. The courtroom freezes. Cameras zoom in. The audience, the crew, even the stenographer stops typing. Kody stares at her, stunned. Christine's voice slices through the silence. What is it, Robyn? What haven't we found yet? Robyn doesn't answer. She just sinks back into her chair, sobbing silently. Her lawyer quickly requests a private conference with the judge. Outside the chambers, the tension is unbearable. Christine paces, her heels echoing on the tile. Janelle chews her lip. Meri clutches her folder to her chest like a shield. Behind, those closed doors, Robyn is unraveling. Every sniffle and muffled word feels like a countdown to something catastrophic. When the judge finally emerges, his face is blank, the kind of neutrality that hides enormous implications. Robyn follows, her mascara streaked, her eyes hollow. She looks less like the family matriarch and more like someone who's seen her entire reality collapse. The judge clears his throat. This case, he says firmly, is no longer about financial disputes. We're looking at misrepresentation, concealment, and fiduciary breach. Criminal referrals are being prepared. Kody's face drains of color. Robyn, trembling, finally turns toward Meri, whispers something inaudible. Then her lips form two words. I'm sorry. And for the first time, Robyn Brown looks afraid. When court reconvenes, Christine's attorney rises immediately. His voice is steady but edged with controlled fury. Your Honor, we move to admit the Sacred Circle freezer documents as Exhibits 18 through 34. Gasps ripple across the room as the sealed bags are laid on the evidence table, a visual testament to years of deceit, greed, and manipulation. These, the attorney continues, demonstrate a consistent pattern of financial concealment, spanning half a decade, with the signatures of both Robyn and Kody Brown. Kody's attorney leaps up. Objection! Overruled. The judge cuts him off. We've been here before, counselor. Sit down. Then Christine's lawyer drops the real bombshell. Your Honor, we also have a 5-minute surveillance video taken outside the Coyote Ridge storage unit. We'd like to play it for the record. Kody's head snaps up. Robyn's lips part slightly. A visible panic flickers between them. The lights dim. The screen flickers to life. Grainy footage. A black SUV. Robyn steps out, gloved, cautious. She opens Unit 314, carrying something thick and heavy. A black binder labeled Coyote Pass. She sets it inside the freezer, locks the door, and drives away. When the video ends, the silence is suffocating. The judge exhales slowly. I've seen enough, he says flatly. Robyn's lawyer stands. Your Honor, my client wishes to make a statement. Robyn rises. Her voice trembles, but it's steady enough to be heard. I was scared, she says quietly. When Christine left, everything began to crumble. Kody told me the only way to save us was to consolidate everything. The money, the land, the show income, all of it. He said we'd be the foundation, the last ones, standing. Her eyes drift toward the cameras at the back of the room. I believed him. I signed whatever he put in front of me. I shredded things, hid receipts, lied about taxes. I thought I was protecting my family. But when he made Meri sign over the inn, that's when I realized he wasn't shielding us. He was shielding himself. The courtroom hangs on every word. It's not just a confession. It's a public unraveling. Kody slams his hand on the table again. You're unbelievable. You told me you were with me. Robyn fires back through tears. Because I thought you loved me. Because I thought this was a family, not a fraud. The judge pounds the gavel. Enough, Mr. Brown. One more word and I will hold you in contempt. Kody sits, breathing heavily, eyes burning holes through Robyn. Christine rises, calm, resolute. Your Honor, I'm requesting a full asset freeze on all Brown Family LLC entities, including Sacred Circle Holdings and Coyote Pass Land Group, pending criminal investigation. The judge nods once. Granted. Meri exhales, the kind of release that comes after years of holding her breath. For the first time in over a decade, the balance of power has shifted. Robyn sits broken. Kody sits cornered. And the wives, the women who were once dismissed, silenced, and betrayed, now stand on the precipice of justice. The courtroom had gone silent. The air was thick, almost electric, when the judge said, Denied. We have a full docket. Call your first witness. But what happened next, no one expected. It wasn't the defense's witness who stepped forward. It was Roberta Sears, the nanny. Late 40s, quiet posture, modest dress, but the kind of eyes that have seen too much for too long. She moved with the weight of someone who had kept other people's secrets until now. As she raised her hand to be sworn in, you could feel the shift. Every person in that room leaned in closer. Christine crossed her arms. Janelle's face hardened. And Meri just went pale. My name is Roberta Sears, she said softly. I worked for Robyn Brown for 4 years. I was hired right after she and Kody moved into the Flagstaff house. The judge leaned forward. And what is it you'd like to testify to today, Miss Sears? Roberta hesitated, her voice trembling. Some papers, she said. I was told to shred them. At first, they were just bills, nothing strange. But later, it was bank statements, wire transfers, some from TLC, some from the family trust. Gasps broke through the silence. Robyn's own nanny was now confessing to destroying evidence. That wasn't just betrayal, and it was obstruction of justice. Kody muttered something under his breath. The judge immediately warned him to remain silent. Roberta continued. One day I got suspicious. I made copies of some of the papers, just in case. She opened her handbag and pulled out a small plastic envelope, worn from years of fear. Inside were 4 folded documents. The clerk collected them, passing them to Christine's attorney. His jaw clenched as he read. These are deposits from the Brown family LLC into a private company, one that Robyn owns entirely. The judge's eyes narrowed. And the name of this company? Sacred Circle Holdings, the attorney replied. Janelle shot upright. That's her old jewelry business. The one she said she shut down years ago. Christine's attorney nodded grimly. Publicly dissolved in 2017, but reactivated in 2020, used to funnel more than $180,000 from the family trust. Kody's face turned ghost white. Robyn lowered her head, whispering something only Meri heard. They told us it was temporary. That's when everything collapsed. The judge ordered a forensic audit of Sacred Circle Holdings. The defense team froze. The cameras panned in on Robyn, whose tears were no longer the kind that earned sympathy. They were the kind that reveal guilt. As court recessed for lunch, Meri stepped outside, overwhelmed. She pulled out her phone, staring at an old, cryptic message. You missed something. She called the number, no answer. She tried again, voicemail. Just as she lowered the phone, another message came through. This time, an image. A storage unit. Caption, Coyote Ridge, Unit 314, check the freezer. Her blood ran cold. Meri showed Christine, who went silent. That's Robyn's storage rental, she said. The one she claimed was for downsizing. Christine and Meri didn't go back to court that day. They told the judge it was a medical emergency. Instead, they drove straight to Coyote Ridge. The desert air cut sharp against their skin as they found Unit 314. The lock snapped. The door slid open. Inside, rows of boxes. Everything neatly labeled, Christmas decor, crafts, keepsakes. But in the far corner, a humming sound. A large commercial freezer, plugged in and running. Christine hesitated only for a second before opening the lid. Inside, dozens of plastic bags. Each sealed tight. They pulled one out. Inside, documents in waterproof sleeves, contracts, bank ledgers, notarized forms, some with Kody's signature, and one that made Meri's knees buckle, a custody draft agreement. It was dated 3 years ago, signed by both Kody and Robyn. It granted sole guardianship of Robyn's children and potential guardianship of all minor children to Robyn in the event of legal dissolution of the family trust. Christine read it out loud, her voice breaking. They were planning the downfall before the first wife even left. Meri whispered, We were never wives. We were liabilities. By the time they returned to court, everything had changed. Christine's lawyer had already received confirmation. The IRS was now requesting a full investigation into the Brown family trust. When the judge announced it, Kody lost control. You're taking her side, he screamed. You've always taken her side. Mr. Brown, the judge said sharply, one more outburst and you'll be removed. But before Kody could respond, Robyn broke down. She stood, sobbing, shouting across the courtroom, You told me it was protected. You said they'd never find it. The entire room froze. Christine took a cautious step forward. What haven't we found yet, Robyn? But Robyn didn't answer. She just collapsed back into her seat, tears streaking her face. Minutes later, her attorney requested a private meeting with the judge. Behind closed doors, the sound of sobs echoed through the wood paneling. When they emerged 20 minutes later, Robyn's mascara was smeared, her spirit visibly crushed. This case, the judge announced, is no longer about financial disputes. It's about fraud, concealment, and possible criminal activity. We are proceeding accordingly. Cameras flashed. Kody stared in shock. Robyn looked up at Meri and mouthed, I'm sorry. But it was too late. When court reconvened, Christine's attorney placed a stack of waterproof document bags on the table. Your Honor, we submit the Sacred Circle freezer files, exhibits 18 through 34. The judge nodded. Admitted. Then Christine's lawyer added, We also have surveillance footage from the Coyote Ridge facility. The lights dimmed. On screen, a grainy video dated 6 months prior. A black SUV pulls up. Robyn exits. She's wearing gloves. She opens the storage unit, holding a thick black binder labeled Coyote Pass. She places it in the freezer, locks the door, and drives away. The lights come back on. Silence. The judge sighed heavily. I've seen enough. Robyn stood. I was scared, she said, voice cracking. When Christine left, Kody said the family was falling apart. He said we had to protect what was left. I signed things I didn't understand. I shredded papers, I lied. But when he made Meri sign over the inn, that's when I knew he wasn't protecting us. He was protecting himself. Kody slammed his fist on the table. You're unbelievable. You said you were with me. Robyn's tears turned fierce. Because I believed you loved me, Kody. I thought this was real, not a cover-up. Enough! Shouted the judge. One more word and I'll hold you both in contempt. The room shook with emotion. Christine stood and faced the judge. Your Honor, we request a full asset freeze on all Brown Family LLC entities, including Sacred Circle Holdings and the Coyote Pass Land Group. The judge nodded. Granted. Meri's breath hitched. All these years, the inn, the trust, the sacrifices, and now, finally, the truth was out. Kody's empire was collapsing, not from outside attacks, but from the very people he built it on. Robyn sat motionless, realizing the cold truth. The family she tried to preserve was already gone, and the man she trusted had turned her into the last scapegoat standing. And as the cameras zoomed in on Christine, Janelle, and Meri, one thing was certain. Justice was no longer a dream. It had become destiny. Justice was no longer a dream. It had become destiny.